and welcome to the Trees Around the Globe Student Research Campaign Year 4 interviews. My name is Brian Campbell, and I am the lead for the campaign. And today we have a special guest to talk to you about the GLOBE Africa region. Would you please introduce yourself and your position within the GLOBE program?
Thank you very much, Brian. My name is Ylliass Destin Lawani. I'm the country coordinator of Benin, but I'm at the regional office, Africa regional coordinator of Alumni Africa regional coordinator.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today and discussing with us a little bit about the importance of taking tree height and land cover observations in the GLOBE Africa region and sharing it with the rest of the GLOBE community. So why is it important for GLOBE participants in the GLOBE Africa region to be part of the Trees Around the Globe student research campaign?
Brian, this is a very interesting question. Africa is seen like a continent, part of the world which is not giving some additional contribution to the community. And I think that this project, this campaign, helped Africa to gather some interesting data about trees and also about all other components. By taking trees data, they can use some other protocols like land cover, like the biosphere around the trees. Can use also a mosquito protocol. So I think that it is important to have in a certain period, a big big number of data from Africa. So it is very important for us in Africa to participate in this campaign, which which is very important for our research, and our contribution should be very interesting to contribute more to the continent, to the research at the international level.
Yeah, that's great, and I'm really excited that you mentioned like the mosquito, habitat mapper, which the mosquito observation for the GLOBE program, because that's one thing we're really focusing on this year with the Trees campaign is how we can work with the other campaigns and observations like GLOBE Mission Mosquito and Service Temperature Field Campaign and air quality, but especially the Mission Mosquito, which is plays such a huge role in the African environment, taking these observations. And that's one thing that we're really working on is to do these multi-campaign, webinars and collaboration. So, thank you for mentioning that. So, do you recommend students and teachers in the GLOBE Africa region work with both the GLOBE data for land cover and tree height, as well as satellite data? Why is the comparison of the data from the GLOBE program and satellite data important?
Yeah, the comparison is very important. You, Brian, you don't, you may remember that I started GLOBE when I was student. So it was in 1998, and since that time, it was very crucial for our government and for our teachers and parents, because all these are the same community. It was important to compare the data which are taken from the space with the one which are taken from the ground to have a better accuracy of the data. So it is for me, it is important, and I would recommend strongly to the students, teachers, researchers, and the science community of the continent to be part of the campaign and the other related campaign in order to get accurate data. Okay. Also for the mosquito, as we mentioned it, for the mosquito protocol, as you see on the ground, we have surface, water on the surface. Okay, and with the satellite from the space, we take data from the space. So it is important by doing this correlation to get data which can be used for research. And Africa need a certain amount of data. For the last COP, you may recall that the president and the head of state have mentioned the importance to have data for our continent, because in the research there is a lack of data for Africa continent, and it is due to the priority. People, we have, our government has many other issues that they want to face than research. But today, as the how climate change are affecting the life of people, so it is important and crucial for us in our different countries to participate in data collection. And the better way is to do it is to include and to involve students, teachers, and researchers, especially students in the school, because they are the future and they can work continuously to gather a certain number, a big number, a big amount, a certain number of data. Yeah.
Yes,
so I
yep.
would greatly recommend.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, that's super important. When you mention that, the head of state, wants to say, hey, there's a lack of data. We need the data. And the GLOBE program, Trees Around the Globe Student Research Campaign, Mission Mosquito, these are all such vital projects and programs to get that data, in the hands of people who are going to use that in the real world. And that's super important. There's so many things going on in Africa and all around the world that we really need to monitor. And this is one great way to do that. So with that said, you mentioned, students and educators, coming together and looking at this data, taking this data, analyzing this data and getting this data to the right people. So how important is it for students in the GLOBE Africa region to work on research projects and submit them to the GLOBE IVSS? And basically how these and that these IVSS projects align to the Trees Around the Globe Student Research Campaign.
Yes, this part is crucial for the development of GLOBE in Africa region. I personally, we have the experience to be part of the IVSS initiative since the beginning. And from the beginning, if you remember, Africa was not contributing. By the years, we work to have a certain number of contribution for the Africa region. And I would greatly recognize the leadership of the GLOBE director, Mr. Mark, who with the GIO, they are doing a lot of effort to help and to have people in the continent to participate in the IVSS. Participating in the IVSS for students is crucial if they want to become scientists, if they want to become researchers. This is a starting point for them to learn about science. So by doing the research in the environment, local environment, by focusing on research questions which impact their life, I think that it is crucial, not only for themselves, but for the community to have results, part of coming from the research and to publish this research. The second thing is that by doing this research by themselves, they are sensitized about the local issue. They can also talk to their parents, to the local authorities, to have them take the adequate measure to face the problem they have studied or they have investigated in their research. So they are connecting the community to science by doing by participating to IVSS. The first thing, and which is for me important, is to be part of the scientist community. Okay, by participating in IVSS, by doing the research, they are connecting, they are participating in data collection, but they are also being part of the larger community, the GLOBE community, and they can see, okay, we are there. We count. I think that it is important for Africa region. Africa need to be there. Africa need to be everywhere that counts. Africa need to participate in data collection. I think that it is a very, very important for myself, and it must be what we need to focus in the future. And the leadership of the regional director and the GIO is very important on that way.
I love that you mentioned that this is a way, the IBSS projects are a way to not only answer scientific questions that benefit the students, but also benefit the community and bringing the community together to help understand what's happening in the local environment in Africa. So yeah, that's so important. And thank you so much for saying that. It's really bringing that science together with the community and how that science makes sense in the real world, that affect the science that affects, you know, the everyday lives of people in, you know, in Africa and, you know, all around the world. You know, that's such an important thing. So thank you for that. Um, so, you know, thinking about the Africa region, are there any specific locations in your region that you can think of off the top of your head, you know, where students should focus some of their GLOBE research efforts that they might submit to IBSS? You know, for example, areas where trees are flourishing or areas where trees may be in jeopardy. Do you know of any locations like this that might be good for students to observe?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't touch your question very well. It was cutting. The sound was cutting, so I don't know if you can repeat the question.
Yeah, no problem. So let me repeat that. Are there any specific locations that you can think of in the Africa region that would benefit benefits, you know, of students, you know, researching those locations, you know, areas where trees are flourishing or areas where trees may be in jeopardy?
Okay. Yeah. I think that areas like desert part, for example, Niger, school in Niger would be a good place to investigate. When you are talking about trees, I mean you mean a place where the trees are not flourishing, where we are not having a lot of trees due to the environment, due to the soil or something like that. If I got your question.
Yes, exactly.
So countries like Niger, Burkina Faso, okay, and where the rainy, it's not raining so much, so this affect the trees, and also let's say yes, what I see Mali people, some areas like Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. I think that in this part, it will be interesting to have people participate in the campaign.
Excellent. And final question for today. Do you have anything else you would like to mention to the Globe Africa region Trees Around the Globe student research campaign participants?
Yeah, I remember that part of this campaign, you have focused on a specific type of trees in South Africa, I think, which we call in Africa the baobab.
Yep. Baobab.
It's bigger trees. I think that you can, for this campaign, we can choose another type of trees, which we can find in most African area, and to see how what is the dynamic of this the growing of these trees, and how maybe the aspect of climate change can affect, or other aspects can affect it. I think that maybe it may be interesting, but I suppose that you choose baobab because of the height of the tree that we can observe from the space, maybe, and also the in Africa we used to study from we use trees, leaves for medicinal and other aspect. We use it to for medicinal purpose. So it will be good to have another trees type of trees to study. Also, there is a link between the canopy, the trees height, and the biosphere. So it may be interesting to see how to connect or what is the dynamic between these two aspects. But it's what I
That's
can say. I can say briefly.
That's perfect. Yeah, because that gives some context that, there's not just the baobab tree, in Africa. There's lots of other tree species in Africa. And, each one of them, each one of these trees serve as some type of indicator to climate change. And, as we see on this planet, our climate's changing dramatically everywhere. So, yeah, so just wanted to say thank you so much, Ylliass, for being here today and doing this interview with me. And super excited to work closer with the Globe Africa region as part of the Trees Around the Globe student research campaign.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for the interest you have for the Africa region. Thank you, Brian.